Hi, I'm James from Biffy Clyro and we're going to talk Bassmageddon. It's all about Ashdown. I've gone through most all of the Ashdown amps. I'm a bit of a greedy guy, so I've tried them all out. I've tried the Little Bastard, I've tried the Mag 500, I've tried the VTA, and now I'm on to the CTM 300, which is, I don't want to talk about it. No, it's all the amps have been great, but I guess like other musicians, you're kind of always searching for something new and trying out different things, and so I'm always just fiddling with things and changing them as we go. They've got this new CTM amp, which is got one knob on it that says gain or drive. Is it gain? I think it's gain, yeah. And it just brings the whole thing alive, and of course you've got all that valve warmth as well, which I love. So yeah, I've used just about all the Ashdown amps and they're all great, and I think I'll continue to do so. I guess in the last few years we've seen a little bit of a change. We've gained some new fans. Hopefully we've kept all the old fans, but the shows are getting a little bit larger. We've been playing a little bit further afield, and we're just in the middle of our biggest arena tour in the UK. So it's really nice when new people come to the shows. It feels like you're kind of almost starting again as a band, and with every record there's a bit of a mild rebirth in a way. So you get a chance to, you have those 18 months off the road and you kind of forget how to do it, and then you have to learn again and get it all going. So it's nice how it's always changing, and there's always fresh challenges and kind of new things to try out. So on the other hand, it still feels like three guys, well now five, but a bunch of guys on the road making music. There are some elements of it which are quite simple, especially as everything else in the world becomes more complicated. It's nice just to get on the stage with your mates and play some music. I guess when you're in the studio, you're so focused on what you're doing, you kind of even forget that you're going to make an album to release and that people at home are going to listen to it. You're kind of locked to your own wee bubble, and then slowly and surely you start to think about the record coming out, and you start to think about taking that on the road and playing shows, and how are we going to achieve this. When we're writing the songs and recording them, we're not really thinking too much about how to play them live, so that kind of comes later. And it's not always an exact replica of the recording that you've made, it's a different thing, and I guess you approach every song individually, but it's been fun getting it together with having Michael and Gambler playing. Gambler's not there, he's away. But having Mike and Gambler playing live with us helps to kind of embellish the sound, and these guys can play some of the string parts and the horn parts that are on the record, so I think our sound's got bigger, and we kind of enjoying the challenge of playing the big shows. It's really nice to get out on a big stage and run around and have some fun, and it's been a great time. That's the fun thing about a big stage, and like I guess big shows, so much more of it becomes more serious, and you want to play well and put on a good show, and it's easy to forget that you're there to have a good time, and sometimes it's nice just to have a bit of a laugh and not take it too seriously. I mean, but certainly when you're walking down, we have these kind of thrusts in the stage that go out into the crowd, and when you're walking down there it does feel a bit ridiculous in a way, but then that's kind of what you're there to do, is to have fun, and it should be a bit crazy and maybe even verging on pantomime at times. I guess bass players are being usurped by computers, and because you can get a lot of bottom end out of a computer these days, but if I had any advice to aspiring players, it would be to listen to the drummer and try and play with a good drummer. I'm lucky enough that I get to play with my twin, who's an don't tell him, but he's an extraordinary drummer, and listen to what they're doing with the kick drum, and try and lock that in. I guess that's the kind of foundation, the building blocks of any kind of music, or certainly the music that we make, is you've got to have the bottom end sorted out, and everything below about 500 hertz is kind of our territory, and that's kind of what we look after. But I think also my advice would be, don't listen to people like me. Go out there and figure it out for yourself. We didn't really listen to anyone when we grew up. You've got to figure things out for yourself, really, and and try and enjoy it. You know, if you can enjoy doing what you're doing, then there's more chance you're going to keep doing it. You know, if you're in a band or you're playing with people you don't like, it's not going to last very long. So find some good guys, some good friends, and just give it hell. I think things change rapidly with the internet. You know, when we started out as a band, there was no MySpace or Facebook, and the only way to sort of gain fans was to go out and play. And I think that was actually a blessing in disguise for us, that we just had to go out and work hard and play to people. These days you can record on your laptop in your bedroom, and you can make a whole album in an afternoon and have it on the internet in the evening. Do not be tempted to do that. You got to get out there and sort of earn your stripes and learn how to play first. And I think don't be in too much of a hurry. I think there's so much focus these days and kind of modern day life that everything's now and it's got to happen right now. And I think people should enjoy the moment a little bit more. It's not always about getting to the next stage. Sometimes it's about enjoying the journey. And yeah, just work hard. Don't expect anything to happen quickly. Thanks, Mike. So, yeah. I'm trying to do an interview.
I'm sorry,
That's Michael Venner, ladies and gentlemen.
Just having a flat. I'm pro to having the odd flat. Just having one right now.
He's watching the Iron Maiden, I think, and you watching Iron Maiden?
I'm watching Iron Maiden. That's raising my pulse somewhat. Yeah.
Mike's our live guitarist. He's the one that I was telling you about that can make his guitar sound like anything you want. Maybe like a string section or a horn section, or you know. We've tried out lots of different basses over the years. Some of them have stuck, some of them not so much. I think it was going into the studio to make this record, that on a 20-track album we really wanted to have different sounds for as many songs as possible, and it's always tempting when you get a good sound just to stick with it and track the whole album, but we wanted to, as we did with the drums, we wanted to try and get different tones for every song. So we had a really nice old Vox bass, we tried a Hofner bass, although that didn't really last. It didn't have the sustain for me. And a couple of other really nice things. We tried a Thunderbird, which I fell in love with, and hoping to get one of those into the live arsenal sometime soon. But the Grabber's just one that kind of fits in that world. We use it live for a song called Biblical, and it's just got a really gnarly, kind of quite aggressive tone. And again, it's just trying to change things up to get away from the jazz and the P. I've now got a jazz P hybrid, so I'm kind of covering all of the Fender world there. But it's nice to try different things and keep things moving along. It's always interesting to play a guitar that you're not used to, you know, even the shape of it, or the, you know, how it feels, the shape of the neck, that sort of thing. So it's nice to be out of your comfort zone from time to time and try out some different things. Also use a couple of the Ashdown pedals. And what have you used? You've got the Hyper, is it the Hyper Drive? It is, yeah. Really nice pedals, great tone. They match up well with the Ashdown amps as well. So we're really in Ashdown heaven at the moment, you know. Used two big massive 8x10 cabinets on stage, which Ben always tells me to turn down because they're super loud, but they flap the backs of my trousers and they make it all happen. So thank you. You know, we've enjoyed this road together, and hope it continues for a long time. Thanks for all the support. And thank you. I was James, and that was some chat about bass.